Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Twists, a podcast where we like to talk about Round the Twist, an 80s, 90s, and early 2000s television show from Australia aimed primarily at children. My name is Joe Lewis, and here to talk garbage about this wonderful television show is my good friend Anthony Bull.
Yes, hello Joseph, how are you?
I'm very well today, how are you?
I'm good.
That is very good to hear, because today we're joined together to talk about Grandad's Gifts, episode 8 of season 2 of Round the Twist.
Yes.
How are you feeling about this episode?
It's alright, it's a lot of stuff happened in this episode. Like, guys, go. Just 2 minutes to shut up, because there's a lot to get through, so it'll be a lot easier if we all just be quiet and we just get through this, alright? A lot of stuff happened in this episode.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Well, I think what you mean to say is that not a lot actually happened in the episode, but a lot happened in the background.
Oh, so much that happened in the background. And
yes.
You know us, we like to obsess about things that happen in the background, more so than what's happening in the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, let's dive into it, starting with the teaser, which is a scene that happens at the start of the episode to give us a little bit of an idea of what's going to happen in the episode, some of the themes, maybe, set up some of the content, and we get an old-time lighthouse photo setup. So there's a man getting his photo taken, standing next to who I presume is his wife, in front of the lighthouse that we know and love, the Port Noranda Lighthouse, and then this man takes a photo of them, and then we transition into that photo that had been taken, its eyes being painted blue.
Yes.
Yes.
That is exactly what indeed did occur.
Yes, on some sort of table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we start, we get the font. I can't remember the font.
It's like elegant font.
What is an elegant font?
Like, I don't know.
How elegant can a font be?
Pretty font, I guess. I don't know. Like, he'd send it out, like, if you're having a wedding and you were wondering what kind of font you'd have,
yes.
It'd be like a wedding font.
Okay.
It's, I don't know, that's what you call it. Like, it's a wedding font.
Sure.
Or a party font, or the Queen's font, or something like that.
Well, let's start the actual episode itself. After we get the theme song that everyone knows and loves, we get a shot of a tree that clearly wasn't there before. We get a lot of things in season 2 that weren't there before in season 1, and we got a tree, and we go from the tree up into Linda's room, and she's sleeping, and we hear the noise of a fox.
Yes, we hear what the fox says.
We do indeed hear what the fox say, and what does it say?
Or something like that. It's not very impressive.
Sounds like a mentally damaged pig.
Yeah, it sounds, well, I don't know, really? What?
I don't know.
Do you know have you ever met a mentally damaged pig? Have you actually met a pig?
Well, I am pontificating.
Pontificating, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a certain person we know.
Like a certain person that we know.
Yeah.
That the noise that a mentally damaged pig would make sounds quite similar to what a fox makes.
Well, okay, sure. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, are you saying that Yelvis is a mentally damaged pig?
Yelvis
is a mentally damaged pig?
Yeah, Yelvis is a Norwegian.
So he's
Norwegian, right?
So you're saying that people from Norway are mentally damaged?
No, I'm not. What do you say? Let's move on.
Okay, just saying that. Like, you say the fox says something.
We cut back down into the backyard, and the fox in question is trying to eat a tree.
He's trying to eat the tree.
Well, it looked like it.
Really?
It was at the tree.
Alright, yeah, well, sure, whatever.
And we cut back into the lighthouse, and Linda wakes up and immediately thinks that the noise is being made by Bronson.
Well, of course, that's who you'd blame, right? Bronson.
The most useless of all twists.
Yeah, I mean, he's there to be annoying, so of course it's Bronson.
His primary role in life is to be annoying.
Yes, he's there to serve as a goal for you to overcome.
Yes.
Rise above and become stronger.
Yes, indeed. So the noise continues, and a couple of the things that we see in the background here are some of Linda's stickers.
Yeah,
she has stickers, posters, general, greeny, what do you call the stuff? Paraphernalia?
Propaganda.
I don't know.
It's fine. I mean, it's if she was right wing, she'd have propaganda as well.
Would
right?
she?
Well, yeah, it should be something like, why be politically correct when you can be right? Yeah, there's one. There's some other ones.
Yeah, these are ones
Back off, lefty scum. I'm trying to remember these stickers that I picked up because when you go to university.
Why do you have them?
When you go to university, you go to all the tables and a whole bunch of tables, and the lefty guys will have some cool stickers and stuff, and then the right wing, like young liberals will have their own little stickers. So of course it's free stickers, and I am a child of my mother who, whenever she's at any location when they're giving out free stuff like sample bags, she just takes. She's like, oh, I'll take that pen. I'll take a whole bunch of those pens. Yes. I'll take some of those drink bottles. So, I'll take whatever's there. I mean, it's for free. I know.
Yeah. So Linda will have at some point been to these mysterious tables that you've been to.
Yeah.
And she's collected some of these stickers. A couple of them that we've got in this shot here are pay your workforce.
Yes.
Fair
enough.
Fair enough, indeed. Even if that is a lefty sentiment, it seems all right to me.
Seems like makes sense to me. It's like, hey,
I don't know if you could even say that's even primarily lefty, because wouldn't everyone agree with paying your workforce?
But how much are you paying them?
Yeah, but we'll pay them appropriate to what the work that they're doing.
Yeah, but from a left-wing perspective, you take a Marxian perspective, the idea is that the capitalist wants to squeeze as much profit as he can out of his workers because he sees them as just a source of labor, when it's more... So they're not really paying the workforce. You're paying them the same way that you might pay 6 cents for a child in I don't know, bloody...
Yes.
That country, whatever country it is, to make you a shirt. Are you really paying him? Just like how are you paying prisoners? Prisoners, how they do like work for thing, but they get paid like 23 cents. They're not really getting paid. They are, but it's like, what is that? Is that just there to protect them so that because they can't do slavery anymore?
It's not your right to be paid. You are...
From their perspective, they think it is.
No, well, you make an agreement with your employer to be paid an amount suitable for the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's not your right to be paid some imaginary amount of money that you think that you should be paid. The amount of money that you should be paid should be some sort of compromise between what you would like and what your work is worth.
Yeah, but the thing is though, like, if you take something like a heavily de-skilled job...
Yes.
Right?
Like what, for example?
I don't know.
Shoveling poo.
Yeah, shoveling poo. That's actually a good one. Let's say there's a whole band of shoveling poo that you have nothing really to argue. So it's really hard for you to even say, look, I could go somewhere else. And it's like, yes, you could.
Yes.
I could take my business somewhere else.
But
the thing is, that's why the people in those highly de-skilled industries need to unionize, because there is no real way that they can argue for an increase in pay if they have no real skill as one individual asset. But if as a collective unit, that's when it becomes super important, because if your whole workforce leaves, it's kind of hard to replace your entire infrastructure.
Yeah.
So I sympathize with them. I don't agree necessarily with them.
Shoveling poo is an interesting profession to talk about.
Yeah.
Because you might not necessarily be able to get new people.
Yeah.
Because people might not want to shovel poo. Maybe there's better jobs out there. Maybe people would rather just be on the dole than shovel poo.
Yeah.
So maybe the rate has to go up because the people that you have there, you can't readily replace them.
And poo needs to be scooped up. It's like the same thing with garbage men.
Yes.
Like if a garbage man go on strike, they have a lot of power. A lot of people don't look down on garbage men, but if they went on strike, in a week's time, you would be calling for them to get a little bit higher in wages to end the strike, because your bin is going to stink like crazy. You're gonna start appreciating garbage men, even though most people don't.
There's a film or a TV series where the garbage men go on strike and the whole city just...
I think you're thinking of an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good episode.
The whole city is just filled with trash.
And they go around and pick up people's trash.
Yeah.
And then instead of taking it to the dump, they just dump it in poor communities. How bad those guys.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing to talk about, but I think, it always comes down to the job, what you're actually doing. There is a certain amount of money that should be paid for what you're doing. Like, if you're just shoveling poo, you're never going to be being paid the same as a lawyer, because why would you? There is no... It just doesn't make any sense on any level.
There's a higher need for it, more skill, more study, and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, another problem with that is if when you put up your price, it's so complicated, because if the wages increase, the incentive to go and automate your system more to try to make it more efficient gets higher, because as a manager of a company, you need to keep your costs down, particularly if you're in a publicly listed company, because you need to return a profit to your shareholders, because they ultimately decide whether you keep your job or not.
One of the other stickers that Linda has in her room is land rights, not mining,
which is interesting because that's the same sticker that was on her door in the season 1 episode, The Copy.
Yes.
And this is like a 3 or 4 year difference.
I'd like to ask you, what's your opinion on the land rights versus mining rights argument?
I have no idea.
Well, what do you think? Do you have any kind of input?
No, not really.
Why not?
Because I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
I don't give a shit. I don't own a mine, and I'm not Aboriginal.
Surely you have some sort of opinion or vested interest.
I don't know. Let's see. The first opinion might be, what's the land being used for? Is it like spiritual? Is the whole thing spiritual?
Well, I get it's a very, very delicate argument, because there's a lot of these days. There's not a lot of land.
Maybe it's hard for me to really comprehend, because we come from Western culture, right?
Yes.
Where things objects, items, and just determined space is sacred. So, like, let's take the Dome of the Rock as a great example. If you were to say, there's tons of oil under the Dome of the Rock, let's drill under the Dome of the Rock.
Yeah.
I can understand people saying, no, don't drill or mine the Dome of the Rock. That's sacred to the Muslims. It's sacred to the Jews, sacred to the Christians, all that, because that's a definable part of land. Or alternatively, there's a great cancer-saving thing in some sort of holy relic in Eastern, whatever, I don't know, owned by the first emperor of Qin, and it's super religious for whatever reasons. Should we destroy it? Well, that's a difficult question. But then we got land rights where it's like, is there a definable patch of land where this is sacred? Is there a perimeter where we can say this is part of the sacred land?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem so. It just seems that that's sacred. Now, maybe that's just a part of their culture where it's like they don't view objects as a singular individualistic thing, but more of a collective sort of entity. So it's kind of hard for me to sympathize with their side, but it's hard for me to also think, just tear up the mines and destroy what they view as sacred.
Yes.
A compromise, I feel, should be made, I guess.
Alright, let's just plow on, because we've barely gone through half a page of my notes.
Well, there's other ones saying, there's one called Organize.
Okay, these are Linda stickers still,
Linda stickers. We're just going to go through them. Organize, I like the Organize one, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
It's a big fish eating a school of fish, right? But then underneath it, it's the little school of fish, turning into like an outline of a big fish, and it's chasing the bigger fish.
Yes.
But obviously it's a union thing. It's about forming a union, becoming stronger than the large corporate entity that wants to just eat and attack and kill you. I think it's a great sticker, personally. I think it's got a great... It works. It's right to the point. Organize, and you can defeat the large corporate entity. Fine.
It works for anything. If you work together with other people, you're stronger than
the large oppressive individual force or whatever.
Not to say that large forces are necessarily oppressive.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. Whatever. I mean, well, the thing is, a union of itself could be a large oppressive force.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of problems, Australia in particular, with some of the unions having problems with being large oppressive organisations.
Yeah, it's true. But, okay, so then there's say no to plastic bags, which...
Yes.
It's fine. I mean, that kind of happened a little, I guess. We sort of said no to plastic bags, like there's an introduction to those things.
This episode was made in early 90s.
Yeah.
We have a, 15-year... Is it 15? 20?
25
year?
Yeah.
Maths. 25-year perspective on some of these stickers. So some of these things have happened, some of them not.
Help the Earth urgently?
Yes. Did that happen?
No.
No,
probably not. It's been 25 years now, we're still having a climate change discussion and a whole bunch of other things. So
still?
Urgent? Yeah.
Or did the climate change discussion emerge after?
I'm saying the climate change, but still, I mean, save the Earth, I'm sure that it all grouped into one thing.
Yes.
Protect the environment. It is still being debated. If it was an urgent thing, wouldn't it be resolved in like 10 years? And we'd all be like, oh, we love our renewable stuff.
Yes.
Yep. And then the last one is save the ozone immediately, ban CFC.
It happened. They won.
There you go.
Good job.
Well, that's because it did. It was like, oh shit, there's a giant hole in the ozone layer. It's totally caused by CFC. Well, we're not going to use that anymore.
Yeah.
So good work, Greenies. You did it.
Let me just dig myself a hole here.
Yeah. Okay.
CFCs. Yeah. Putting a hole in the ozone layer, completely provable. Mm-hmm. Unlike carbon.
Really?
Destroying, causing climate change.
Really? You really? It sounds retarded.
No, I'm messing around. Or am I?
I don't know. I think you're retarded is what I think you
are. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
And apparently there was dinosaurs and man, they lived together. That's what you told me the other night. You're like, oh, I think dinosaurs and man, they lived together. Yeah.
They rode T Rexes around.
That would be really cool.
I didn't say that.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
It would be cool though.
I'd love to see a Brontosaurus fight a T Rex.
Brontosaurus would lose.
Have you seen the size of Brontosaurus? I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Let's do quickly. T Rex.
Yeah.
Brontosaurus. T Rex wins.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Brontosaurus eliminated.
Yep.
Next challenger. Triceratops. Triceratops versus T Rex. Who wins?
Triceratops. Go straight for his gut.
Yeah, but if the T Rex can get around the neck, he's a bit of a winner.
But I reckon. What about Stegosaurus?
Well, who wins?
I reckon Triceratops.
Okay, Triceratops wins. Moves on. Stegosaurus. Who wins?
Triceratops.
You think so?
Triceratops has got a giant horn. It's got 3 horns.
That's Steg. He's got some armor, bro.
3 horns. You can pierce them.
Well, you'd have to, get in behind those scales and, pierce. Like, in the movies where you're fighting a dragon and you've got to peel off a scale and get in there, or there's always that loose scale.
They're not dragons. They're dinosaurs.
No!
They're dragons. Okay.
my example was relevant. It's similar, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Do they have scales, or is it just...
I don't know. I'm
like
not a bloody lizardologist. You are, apparently, though. Do
you want to tell that story quickly?
You tell the story.
No, I can hardly remember.
Okay, so we're during the Ipswich floods. We go and we have a look at the flooding. It was pretty bad, right?
It was fun. It was pretty bad.
Okay, so let's not describe the flooding of Ipswich and the flooding of people's homes as fun.
But gallivanting around Ipswich in its waterlogged state was fun.
Well, okay, so gallivanting around while other people were suffering made you feel very guilty.
Side story.
We
rock up into Aldi.
Yes.
Both our homes are fine.
Yeah.
We rock up into Aldi, get like a 12-pack of Aldi yogurt.
Yeah, Yogo Gorillas.
Whatever their Yogo brand is.
Junk food because we have got nothing to do.
Yeah, we just sat around for a week and a half.
Because there's really nothing to do.
Because everything was closed.
Yep.
Apart from Aldi. And we left, just as we were lining up in Aldi, we're buying our Yogo.
Yeah.
And the guy...
The guy in front of us he's buying like a large bottle of disinfectant.
Yeah.
And lost his entire house. And we're just like, fuck. Because we feel like absolute shit. Because we're buying all these foods. Like, we're not even affected by it. And there's this guy in front of us who's like, I lost my entire house.
My work was flooded. I couldn't go to work. I had no money.
Yeah, but you don't own that work. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, it's 1% of how much the other guy might have lost.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're at the floods.
Yes.
And we see some of the wildlife. We see some lizards. We see a lizard crawling off. And, right, it's crawling up. And then there's this little girl with her mummy. And the little girl goes, look, there's a lizard. I wonder what type of lizard it is. And then I say to Joe, Joe, what type of lizard is that? You studied lizards at university. And the little girl and the mother starts looking at Joe, waiting for him to give an answer. And he's like, it's a skink, I think.
What did you say? You just blow up my spot. Don't know anything about lizards, and all of a sudden you start, calling me a lizard expert.
Well, apparently That's what
there is no correct answer. It could have been a skink.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Just thought you seem to study them.
No.
Okay.
No, I did not. Linda looks in her cupboard.
Yes.
Can't find anything. Still hears the fox noise. A little bit creepy, creeping around. Calls her dad. Everybody comes running. Bronson suggests that maybe it's burglars.
Burglars.
Yeah, coming in the night, to steal all her expensive things. Maybe her stickers. Maybe the burglars are interested.
Maybe they want collector stickers. I don't know.
Pete, in reply, says, no, up here, in the lighthouse, burglars. Fair suck of the short sauce bottle, mate.
Stealing Kevin Rudd's line there, right?
Well, this is before Kevin Rudd. And Kevin Rudd's line, for everyone who doesn't know, Kevin Rudd, Prime Minister of Australia a few years ago.
Prime Minister.
Former Prime Minister. Well, I said a few years ago.
Yeah, but
he's not now.
Yeah, but also a few years ago he wasn't either, so...
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, but also he wasn't.
Was he not Prime Minister when he made the line?
He was Prime Minister who made the line, yeah.
Well, how was what I was saying wrong?
We could be Prime Minister now.
But I would have said current Prime Minister of Australia.
Yeah, a few years ago, current Prime Minister of Australia. I don't think you would have said that. You would have said, few years ago, Prime Minister Rudd.
What are you talking about?
Just saying, you should have said, a few years ago, former Prime Minister PM Rudd.
The Americans...
Captain Rudd or Crud or whatever.
The Americans refer to past presidents as president.
Do they?
Yeah, President Reagan.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Still president, even though not currently a president.
But I think that's because they assume everybody knows everything about American politics.
I guess.
If you would say President Reagan, no one's going to go, is he still around?
Anyway, Kevin Rudd made a line, fair shake of the sauce bottle, in relation to some sort of welfare issue.
Someone was making?
Something. And he got a lot of flack for it in the media.
It's two different meanings here. When someone says fair shake of the sauce bottle, he's changed the meaning entirely. That's a fair comment. That's a, is that what that would be? It's a fair comment, because when you have a fair shake of the sauce bottle, a lot of stuff comes out, that's an apt response. That's a way to do it. Because when you do a fair shake, right, boom, boom, you get the sauce out.
Yeah.
So it's that's an apt statement.
It's just a long-winded way of saying fair go, mate.
Yeah, but the thing is, when he says fair suck of the sauce bottle,
yes,
he's talking about sauce I think in the slang term for alcohol. As
yes.
in, he's on the sauce. So fair suck of the sauce bottle means...
You're drunk, Bronson.
You're drunk, or you've got drunk thoughts.
Ah.
So, my opinion is that this was a phrase used by people. Kevin Rudd's household, right? His father heard this term, but instead of saying fair suck of the sauce bottle, because his wife, Kevin Rudd's wife, probably was just like... No, Kevin Rudd's father's mother. Kevin Rudd's mother was probably like, you can't say sauce at the dinner table or something. You can't say that because it's, I don't know, swearing. So he changed it to fair shaker the sauce bottle. Because that's
To mean something else entirely.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Dads do that, right? They have weird phrases. Then you say them and you realize that nobody else in the world says it.
Tony has a look around in Linda's room, can't find anything, can't find the nightmare fox noise. Must have been a nightmare, says Pete. Tony says, listen, I just had a nightmare. I dreamt that Faye dumped me.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
You didn't know that.
What? What do you mean you didn't know that?
Didn't have a clue, mate.
You sat next to me as we watched the episode.
Of course I did.
Of course you knew
kidding.
that.
I'm just, what's up?
Outside, it's still nighttime, and lemons are growing on the tree really fast. So, obviously there's some sort of connection between this mystery fox and the lemons.
Yes.
It's morning. Linda's outside. She's looking at the tree. Nell's woken up. She says hi. Linda doesn't reply, and Nell goes inside.
Yeah.
Tony's sculpting, and Pete looks like he's about to go skateboarding. And Nell is dressed up for some sort of election propaganda.
Some sort of election meeting or some sort of
What? How would you describe what she looks like here?
professional.
That was probably not the word that I would use.
What would you use?
I don't know. That's why I asked you if you
I
had
would
a
say
word.
she does
not look like herself.
Yeah, well, she looks professional.
She normally just wears sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
Actually, I do not like the term sloppy Joe because I think that all Joes are above board.
I don't think so.
What?
There's probably Joes out there who are like
What
criminals.
Joes do you know that are not above board?
Joe
All the
Pesci,
Joes.
Joe
Joe Pesci, good guy.
Joe Fillmore.
Who's Joe Fillmore?
He's a convicted murderer.
You just made him up.
No, it's true.
Good
Look up-
Joe. All Joes, good guys, guaranteed. This
not at all.
Joe, great guy.
I'm sure there's Joes out there.
Joe from Survivor, good guy. All the Joes from Survivor have been good guys. None of them have been any good at the game.
Actually, I know. Okay, well, you think all Joes are good guys? I'll give you one.
Which one? Which one?
There's a guy in Russia called Joe.
Who?
Yeah? Who? Which Joe was in Russia? He killed a lot of people, Joe.
Joe. I know. Yeah. He was probably a good guy. Just,
it's like if your name was Adolf and you
had
was like,
issues
all
around
Adolfs
killing
are pretty
people.
good guys, and it's like, what about that one guy? He's probably a nice guy. He built the Autobahn. What about the Jews?
Well, in his perspective, he probably thought he was doing the right thing.
Yeah, but that's...
Good and evil is just a human construct. Does anyone ever really think that they're an evil person?
I don't think they do, actually.
No, you're always going to try and do what is best for you or your people. You always think that you're justified. Good guy Joe Stalin probably thought he was a good guy, helping out his country. Same with Hitler.
So did
probably,
murderers, so.
he
that
thought
applies
that
to everybody.
Hitler thought that getting rid of the Jews was genuinely good for his people. Because he thought that they were, out to screw the legit, in his perspective, the legit Germans.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So getting rid of them, he thought, was probably a good idea.
Is that how we should view good and evil?
What do you mean?
Should we view good and evil as a perspective of...
Well, good and evil
your
is just
intention?
a large moral grey. Is anyone ever really good or is anyone ever really bad? No.
Is it good and evil? Is it the actions or the intention?
If Hitler had won, right?
Yeah.
He would be considered a great guy.
Would he, though? Would we look back on it in history? I mean...
Well, there are good guys that did horrible things.
Take, for example, it's like King Leopold of Belgium.
Yeah.
Right? He was still one. Belgium was still a fine country. Everything was still existent, but he apparently massacred a whole bunch of people in Africa in the 20th
there you
century.
go.
Looked on as a bad guy. Napoleon is a good example, actually.
Yeah.
Napoleon, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy?
No, he's a neutral guy.
But a lot of people think that he's despotic, and he was very a megalomaniac. His famous quote is something like, "I get paid in 80,000 Frenchmen a year."
Yeah.
Which is kind of describes the character that he had.
Yeah.
So, but is he good or is he evil? Do our perspective of good and evil change?
It's a moral grey. Who is anyone as an individual human? Who are you to lay judgment upon another person and say what you have done?
But don't we use the actions? Don't we use the actions, writings, and thoughts and perspectives of human beings who have previously come to pass to form our own judgments?
Yeah, but ultimately,
so don't we need some sort of moral compass?
Yeah, but ultimately a moral compass comes from the popular understanding of the current age.
Yeah.
So at the moment it would be, the laws and cultural understandings that have been set up over the past couple hundred years. A little while ago it would probably be closer tied to your religion.
Yeah.
But in current day it's more in line with Western society.
Yeah.
This is good, this is bad. doing this is outright bad. And there's a lot of, it's really interesting discussion, even though it's completely tangential, because there's a lot of interesting things happening at the moment, like killing those guys, the Bali guys.
Yeah.
People are saying, oh, it's horrible, you can't kill them, just drug traffickers, whatever. Yeah, the guy who was charged with doing the Boston bombing.
Yeah.
Kill him. Oh, suddenly that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, one dude's a drug dealer, the other guy killed people.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's
Yeah,
interesting that there's that moral switch.
Is there any definitive morality?
No, well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but
The
that being said,
morality
if there
is
is no
completely
if there is no definitive morality, then does it even matter? Like, isn't it just is what you're saying? I guess is that it's based on the majority perception of society or your social group.
Yeah, well, my belief about morality is do what's best for you. You know, that's the only morality that you can ultimately have.
Yeah.
Do what's best for you.
But
if you're surviving.
Weird thing is, though, how do you feel bad or good about something? Is that usually influenced by your morality or how you perceive morality?
Well, it's very
And then
complicated.
how does that come into how does that play, I guess, into societal expectations? Because that does have an influence on a lot of people.
It is.
So.
And it is very complicated. And an additional thing, if you kill somebody straight up, you're a bad guy. Somebody tries to kill you.
Are you a bad guy?
Well, most people would say so.
Yeah.
If somebody tries to kill you and you kill them, you're not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's that little thing that happened that suddenly switches everyone's moral stance on what happened. You still killed a guy.
Yeah. But what about your actions? Do you think that the reasons you took the action is what defines?
Well, that's what a lot of people would say.
Outcome?
Motivation. I think the current understanding
You take
is
from
your motivation.
John Stuart Mill utilitarianism versus is it Kant?
Yeah.
I think Kant was on about your intentions.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a discussion there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting discussion.
Yeah,
and maybe we can revisit it in the future.
Probably will. This is why not?
Tony has thrown out something of Bronson's, which was a peanut butter and lime milkshake because he thought it was rubbish. Bronson is very upset about this, and just at this time, Faye shows up. She's looking pretty good in her double denim.
Yeah.
I do like a denim jacket.
Denim jacket.
On my ladies.
I guess so. It's fucking whatever, man.
What do you disagree with the double denim being attractive?
I think denim is stupid. I think denim jackets are dumb. No offense. I think it's like fine, but like I don't get it. Like, you know, whatever. Like denim is on your pants. I get why you gotta wear a denim jacket. Why do you gotta look like you walked into the denim store and said I'll take the whole store.
Coincidentally, something that's coming back into fashion that was fashionable at the time
denim
of
jacket.
this. Yeah, the denim jacket.
I like denim chicken.
It's interesting that we're recording this now at a time where 25 years ago the stuff that was fashionable is now becoming fashionable again.
Yeah,
it's just interesting.
History repeats itself.
History. It's a big circle. All of this has happened before and all of this will happen again.
No, we
Battlestar
talked about
Galactica.
that. Yeah, exactly. This is retarded. Okay, like 2 podcasts ago, you had no idea what the internal return was. All right, the idea about that time is a flat circle, and now you bring this shit up.
I knew what that was.
You didn't. You were like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Now you bring this shit up, and it's like you have a very clear understanding of what time being a flat circle is.
Don't bollocks me. I know what's going on here. Faye shows up and she says, "Hey, look, I've got your brooch, Bronson, that you gave me 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
1 episode. Some amount of episodes ago.
Last episode.
You gave this to me." And Bronson, still very upset that the rubbish, his milkshake was thrown out, says, "Rubbish," and goes away. Because he's very upset. And Faye says, see, this is clear evidence of the fact that Bronson does not like me. I have not taken this out of context in any way. This is Bronson's pure emotional response to me and my humanity. Yeah. And she says to Tony, "Look, I can't do this. There's not room for both me and Bronson in your life. I'm gonna leave you because of Bronson." Yeah. Horrible thing to say to a father. Really.
Well,
horrible thing.
Well, the thing is, like, what to say here? You don't tell off Bronson for being rude to her.
Yeah, you don't tell Bronson off for being rude to me.
Which is fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, she shouldn't have to tolerate that shit. I understand that he's got emotional issues, but like, there's a line where it's just like, you can't keep being rude to Miss Janes.
Yeah.
Or she feels rude. Because, Bronson doesn't even think these things. He thinks he likes Faye. So
does
it's like,
he?
Well, he says that he does. And like, I genuinely believe when he says that he does like Faye, that on the outward, he likes her. Maybe on the inward, he's still worried about being hurt and damaged, like a child would. But on the outside, so he needs to express it a little bit more. Even just giving her a hug. I know that's a big ask, but even giving her a hug when she comes around, once in a blue moon. Oh, well, that's something. hey, it's an improvement. Or even saying, hi, Faye. How hard is that?
Yeah.
You look great today. That's a nice brooch. Or even if you don't think that a denim jacket looks good, just say, oh, what? Yeah,
Which it does.
That's a lovely denim jacket. Oh, thank you, Bronson. You look very pretty. It doesn't have to be true, right? But whatever.
Yeah.
You know, be nice.
Interesting.
It's not hard.
She kisses Tony and then bails out. Linda says, oh, hi, Faye, just as she's leaving, and Faye doesn't say anything, and she's gone.
Yep.
Faye out.
Gonskis.
Tony is a prophet again, because he has predicted this through his nightmare, that Faye dumped him. Is this a hangover from the time where he had special powers? Yes?
Sure does feel like it, I tell you what. So yes, remember, he sees into the future.
Linda is very happy because there's 3 lemons on the tree.
Yeah, she loves
It
lemons.
grew overnight. Last night there was no lemons. Today there's lemons. 3 days ago there wasn't even a lemon tree.
Yeah, what? Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen this lemon tree
this
before.
lemon tree before, and it's a very small lemon tree considering when it was actually planted.
Yes.
So it's like, it was planted apparently when Nell's grandparents were around. Yeah. So that's like 60 years. I don't know how tall lemon trees grow, but I'm pretty sure they grow a decent amount in 60 years. What do you reckon?
I would imagine yes.
Yeah, probably.
They probably grow more than that
Little shrub.
little
shrub, yeah.
Yes. Especially at the accelerated rate of growth that we've seen
Because of the fox.
during this episode.
Yeah.
Yes. What does the fox do to lemon trees?
That's a good question.
The ghosts show up and do nothing. They just kind of sit there and look sad. Now, if we could refer to some feedback that we've received from our good friend
Regan
Pontillo.
His name is Regan.
In the
Reagan.
first of today's Pontillo's Pontifications. Sorry, first of all, Regan is how you pronounce his name, not Reagan.
I was actually really disappointed. I wanted to refer to
Yes.
you as President Reagan.
The running Reagan joke must end
Yeah.
because
Nice.
you've
Mr.
offended Reagan.
Gorbachev, tear down this lighthouse. It works so well.
Yep, thank you for that. Pontillo has said to us he thinks that Ghost Matthew, apparently that's this guy's name, I think he's referred to his name in future episodes, is saddened by Tony and Faye's split. Relatable feelings, perhaps. He did, not Pontillo, but that ghost did mention something about being sad about women.
Yeah, it's
in a
like,
previous
a couple
episode.
1 or 2 episodes ago, it did say something like that. Like, I don't know, something to do with cab. He was driving a cab.
Yes.
Like that. And it had something to do with, like, women causing him pain. Or,
Women,
I don't know.
eh?
Women, eh? Yeah, or something, probably something like that. But it probably was. That's why he's sad, because he's, I don't know, he's one of Nell's ex-lovers.
Yes.
And Nell killed him. And planted his body under one of the trees.
We'll get to that.
We will.
Trust me, we'll get to that. We cut to the Gribbles, who are wearing Gribble hard hats with a big blue G on the front. Well, it's a blue hat with a white G.
Yeah.
And they're just destroying this garden.
I like the logo, to be honest. It's very corporate-esque.
Yes.
Kind of reflected the character of Mr. Gribble.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
Very nice.
Somebody asks them what they're doing. I think it's the Twists. And they say, oh, look, we're just making some money for the Scouts. And the Twists reply, oh, you're not in the Scouts. And they say, oh, yeah, about that. And they're destroying this garden.
Way to the danger zone.
What are you doing?
Back to the danger zone.
What is this? What is this?
Whenever a plane flies over my house, I sing that song.
Oh, okay. I didn't quite understand.
Because I live near an Air Force base. It's the only.
Yes.
It makes perfect sense, right? Sometimes it's really loud. It goes rattles the house. This guy gets scared shitless. I'm talking about my cat.
Yes, pointing to your cat does not translate well in an audio only medium.
Yeah, fair enough. Bloody hell, what are they doing? Are we going to
Oh, well,
war?
I don't.
Are we going to war?
No, it's probably just a routine flyovers.
If we go to war, I want someone from like the Starship Troopers to go, war! We're going to war!
Yes, thank you.
Memorable line. Favorite line from that movie.
The old lady comes out of her house, and pretty much all of her plants have been destroyed. And the Gribbles are just hacking everything up with weed cutters and chainsaws. It's going crazy. And she says, oh, some of these plants are quite rare. And the Gribbles reply with a brilliant, now they're rarer.
Yeah. Well,
Well played.
I'm not going to pay you. Did she pay them beforehand?
I don't know. I assume not. But a very bad business practice. If you're going to try and scam somebody out of money, don't destroy their garden and then ask for money.
Oh, no, it's actually a common scam.
Well, wouldn't
Okay,
you ask for money beforehand?
No. So it's not one of those scams. It's something different. It's they ruin your garden, or they'll start work on the Irish, some Irish scam. These guys were doing it. They call them Irish gypsies or whatever. They go around and they hack into your driveway, right? And they start breaking into it. Then they go and they say, look, we need to fix up your driveway. It's broken. They've already started working on it. You have to pay them because they'll push you really hard to do it, because otherwise they'll just leave and you'll have a broken driveway. So the idea is they push you really hard and say, look, we're here to fix the driveway like you requested. You never fucking did that. They do a shit job and they piss off.
Fixing a driveway, very different to fixing a garden.
Yep. If that ever happens, say, yeah, I'll get you the money. Don't worry. Hang on. I just got to get my purse. Go inside, call the cops, tell them that there's someone basically committing, what is it? I don't know what it's called. Fraud? That's not fraud. It's just committing crimes.
If in doubt, fraud.
Yeah, just call them that. Hey, there's a bunch of Irish guys and they're breaking up my driveway. And then just give them like $20 or something. And say, you'll get the other 20 when you finish the job. And they'll stick around and the cops will come and arrest them.
Excellent.
That's what I'd do.
Back to the lighthouse. Everyone's here, and so is Nell. And they're all very bewildered about the lemons.
Mm-hmm.
Lemons, 3 lemons grown overnight.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it before. Tony's quite upset because he's finished with women.
Yeah, he says he swears off women.
He's sworn off women.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson's not in trouble. Lucky for Bronson. Tony's just sad. He's not angry.
He's
just disappointed. It's nighttime. More lemons are growing. Way more lemons. So many lemons. We're back to Linda's bedroom, and enough is enough is another sticker plastered onto her walls.
It's a Midnight Oil one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a sticker, it's a poster.
Yeah, but is it off their album? Like,
I think so.
I like Midnight Oil, but I don't have any of their albums.
Now, something that we discussed when we were watching the episode was you and I both
Yeah.
fans of Midnight Oil.
We're not fans, but we like their music, and we like the style of their music.
Great music.
Yeah.
Probably not closely aligned with our political values, though.
No, of course not.
Now, Linda, perhaps the opposite.
Yep.
Closely aligned political values. Doesn't seem like a fan of their music, though.
I don't know, man. Like, you'd think so, but...
You know, maybe she is. Maybe she likes Peter Garrett's dancing.
Well, why not? I mean, also he's like anti-nuke and all that stuff, but, I'm looking it up. Enough is enough. No, I think we're wrong.
Oh, we're wrong?
Yeah, well, now we're like idiots, don't we, on this podcast?
Well, that's a first.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, whatever. But still, like, I keep thinking, why do I think that enough is enough?
Well, because it's in one of their songs.
Yeah,
it's in one of their songs.
Belongs to them. We're gonna give it back.
Let's give it back to them. It's the song.
Yeah, I know, but you sound it really poorly.
You just, sound like a robot and you kind of sound like Garrett.
Yeah.
Linda opens the secret compartment that she's just found, and there's a fox in there. It's just in her wall. This is a secret compartment in her wall. And there's a fox living in there. Fox skin.
Fox skin.
It's dead.
Dead skin.
And she touches it to her face, as you do when you find a dead animal.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Because reasons.
Rabies.
Downstairs, Bronson's having a milkshake, and his dad ambushes him. Hello, Bronson. And Bronson, hi, Dad. Don't be upset. You don't need Miss James, because you have me.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
It's alright.
A little bit weird.
Little kid doesn't know what he's talking about.
He says, "Don't worry, I'll make you feel better. You can have some of my strawberry lemon chocolate milkshake."
Gross.
Dad does not enjoy this.
Well,
as any sane person would agree with.
Well, I have no idea, because you go to some places and they add some weird stuff to your food. They make you eat flour,
quinoa, kale.
You're like, you know what? Bromwich doesn't sound too bad when you go to some of these places. You're like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, look at the menu: kale, quinoa, salad. Excuse me, sir. Do you have any Bromwiches?
Yeah. Bring me some peanut butter and a pickle and some Vegemite. Oh, very good, sir.
Yes. Oh, yes, sir.
They bring it out and it'd be a deconstructed sandwich. So it'd be all of the dips, like, in bowls with, like, bread you have to cut yourself. No, you have to bake it yourself because, I don't know, that's just the way they are. So
Postmodernism meal
they bring out a
cooking.
portable oven or something.
Excellent.
Yep.
Linda closes the compartment and is possessed by some sort of fox spirit.
Fox spirit.
And wanders down the stairs. Pete, we just see, starts following her. Why was he awake, first of all? Secondly, why was he watching her room to know that she was wandering out?
Maybe he was going to the toilet.
I don't know, man. This is stalking here. We've discussed stalking on the podcast before. This is stalking. Peter's stalking Linda.
I don't think so. I mean, he lives up on top of the lighthouse, and maybe needs to take a piss or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
He lives in a house. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, fuck him. Fuck his motivation. He can if he wants to sit on the stairs and just roll, like, I don't know, 50-cent pieces down. You know, it's his house. He can do whatever he wants.
Well, all right,
Come
then.
in and tell him how to live his fucking house.
Freedom, hey?
Yeah, freedom.
Tony passes Pete and Linda on the stairs. Bronson says hi. Pete thinks that Linda is sleepwalking, so do not wake her because, you'll probably die if you wake them up. Is that an urban myth?
I think it is. I think I've heard it as an urban myth.
If you wake up sleepwalkers...
Like, you are actually, like, you can wake them up, but you can wake up sleepwalkers. I've heard that, like, it's an urban myth because sleepwalkers can actually injure themselves pretty badly.
Yes.
Right? So it's like, I guess you don't have to wake up a sleepwalker, but there's no, that myth where, they're super strong and they're gonna get you. It's like, if you wake up a sleepwalker, they're gonna wake up.
They can be super strong, though.
Yeah, because they do,
That is
because
the
they're
thing.
not reserved, right? They're not reserved in their actions. So they lift things that they normally wouldn't do. But they need to wake her up because they live near a cliff.
Yeah.
Seriously? Oh, don't wake up this... Oh, it's okay, but we live near a cliff, so if she walks off a cliff...
Oh, yeah, don't wake her up.
Don't wake her up. You could get hurt, Bronson.
We would not want that.
No, we would not want Bronson getting hurt.
That is the last thing. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, of course. That's what we all hope for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because we enjoy children being hurt, but because
We don't?
this specific child
Yes.
annoys us.
Yes.
Yes. Linda goes to the lemon tree, picks one off, goes back inside, offers it to the fox as some sort of, spiritual offering, then goes back to sleep. The Gribbles arrive at the lighthouse in the morning, and they're trying to raise some money for charity.
Yeah.
Tony's very upset. Tony says, look, maybe tomorrow, whatever, do whatever you want, I don't care, I'm over it,
Yeah, he's like,
I'm having an existential crisis.
Yeah. And Regan pointed out that, obviously they really enjoy the chaotic pruning and destroying the local flora. And I just thought, they're taking after Gribble Senior here, who loves to destroy the environment. It's like, yeah, I see the message pretty clear.
Just straw
man
bad guys. Oh, look, I'm an evil capitalist, come to destroy everything.
They are. The guy wants to just fucking dump shit on the fucking, on the beach.
Yes.
He just wants to destroy the boats. It's basically the same thing as cutting off, just taking and hacking up
Yes.
a garden for fun of it. And they really enjoy it. They're not doing it for the money. The weird thing is, Gribble's doing it for the money, right? James, they does this for the money, but he clearly enjoys what he does. So he's doing this chaotic thing because he loves to do it.
Yeah. Nell's showing Linda some family photos for reasons, and Linda remarks on how blue the eyes are of Grandad, Nell's granddad. And she says, oh yeah, that's why my grandma married him, blah, 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 blah. He killed a fox once, turned it into a wrap for her, and she didn't like it because cruelty.
Yeah.
Linda doesn't make the connection that this is the same fox that lives in her room and
No, she does.
possesses her. She
does.
says, where is the fox now?
No. It's because we find out later in a scene, the next scene, why do you want to eat the lemons when we know where they came from? Now, you can take it as either that maybe they left out a scene or something.
Yeah, well...
But I take it as this. Her psychic connection with the fox has actually given her information about the fox and its existence. But it's like if you inhabited the mind of... Like, if I took in the memory of you, Joe.
Yes, my memory.
I wouldn't know your parents. I wouldn't know what your parents thought. I wouldn't know, anyone else in your life, what they thought. So I might still ask someone in your life questions related to you because there might be some extra information that I'm not really aware of. Like, oh, the fox is buried there. Okay, how'd this all happen? I'm still interested because I know there's a fox buried there. But does Nell know the fox is buried there?
I don't know.
And apparently she doesn't.
Basically, what we have from this, what we are supposed to gather from this scene is that the remnants of the fox, the parts that were taken out of it to make the wrap, are buried underneath the lemon tree.
Yes.
And so they're feeding the lemon tree nutrients.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a couple of other things in this scene that we can talk about.
Yeah.
The first one was the first photo of the granddad doesn't have blue eyes.
Does not have blue eyes.
And as we mentioned in the teaser, the granddad, his blue eyes were being painted on.
So did his blue eyes, did he get them from the fox?
No. Well, is it possible for foxes to have blue eyes?
No, I mean like the magic eyes. Because later on in the episode we find there is another mystery, and it turns out that Nell's granddad is powering this other thing.
Well, let's
with
just
his
get
decayed
we'll
body.
get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. All right.
And then we'll come back to this discussion. So we see Tony, he's having an existential crisis, sitting on a cliff, looking out into the waves, looking very depressed.
As you would, because the love of your life is
Cut
gone.
to him back in the lighthouse, and he's peeling some onions.
Because
they're making some sort of meal, I guess.
I think, no, he's doing it, he's peeling onions because
He's hiding his crying?
Yeah, that's what I think it is. He wants to cry, like, still wants to be, he's a tough guy, but he wants to cry. Peeling onions, Perfect excuse.
Tony-
It allows him to have a bit of a teary-eyed cry.
I don't know if I would call Tony Twist a tough guy.
Yeah, but he's still a guy.
Yeah.
Like, and you still have to appear tough, even
Okay.
if you're a soft, sensitive, new age guy.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm crying because of the onions. No, you're just using it as an outlet to be sad.
Linda says, I don't think that we should eat these lemons because we know what's buried underneath them.
We don't know what's buried underneath them, Linda. You do. No one else
Yeah,
does.
you do.
Because nobody else seems to react to that and go, either say,
What
do
are you
mean?
talking about?
What are you talking about? Or, are you sure we shouldn't? It's, well, I don't know what is she on about? You know, to me, she sounds like someone who's like about to start a manic episode or something. She's just making stuff up as they go along, and it's like, what are you talking about? Where did this come from? What's buried under there? There's a dead fox under that tree. What the fuck are you talking about?
Tony wants to be buried on a cliff. A lonely grave for a lonely man.
That's
Very depressing.
That's very depressing.
Bronson says, why are you lonely, Dad? And Pete says, zinger of the episode, he's lonely at night, Bronson.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
You know, very adult.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I didn't realize this.
What?
Okay, so the whole thing is about eating lemons, right?
Yes.
To eat a lemon, and I looked up what eat a lemon is. It's slang. I don't know if it's true because I looked on a website and a whole bunch of Cantonese slang came up.
Okay.
One of them was eat lemon, right?
Yeah.
Which means to be rejected by a girl.
Okay.
And I related that first to the fox.
Yes.
Being rejected as he's being made into this, like, skin or whatever.
Mm.
And being rejected by the girl not wanting him. But then I realized that Tony was rejected by Faye. So if Tony essentially was eating lemons.
Okay. Secret theme of the episode.
Yeah.
Being rejected by a woman. So what was your original
The fox
thought?
The fox is eating lemons because he was rejected by the woman.
Okay,
Right?
I thought you meant that somewhere along time Grandad had been rejected by Grandma.
No, but because grandma rejected the pelt.
Fox.
Yeah, the fox's pelt.
Ah, okay.
So, but now the other one is might just be the theme of the episode is rejection because
Okay.
that's what it was. You know, most of it was
Yeah.
about being rejected.
It's nighttime again. The fox wakes up Linda with his creepy noises.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
eating a lemon. It's moving a little bit.
Yeah.
So she decides to go and get some more lemons. Pete and Bronson follow.
Yes.
Now, side note, we see some toilet paper on the door to the outside. Does this confirm the fact that they are still using the outhouse, even though it got destroyed in episode 1?
It means that they got a new outhouse probably.
Where is it?
I have no idea.
I've not seen it.
No idea. I imagine that they'd have to have. Well, no, hang on. It has to be where the outhouse is because the outhouse is connected to a sewerage pipe. Because remember, it goes to a poo farm or a sewage farm.
Yep.
So they
It
obviously
has to be in the same place.
Yeah, they must be the
because of
same
plumbing.
place because it's just easier than having to install plumbing.
Why wouldn't they just install a house into the lighthouse?
Because then you'd have
Install
to
a toilet.
Because then I guess you'd have to set up a new get a plumber in there. It's probably a lot easier to set up a toilet where it was previously. But then you need to build something new. So again, it doesn't make any sense, right? So maybe there's not enough space in there.
Yes,
Maybe there's only like a set amount of rooms,
maybe.
and that would force Bronson and Pete to have to live in the same room,
Yeah.
which no one wants to do.
Nobody wants
It's
that.
fine. I'm kind of peeing outside. It's fine.
Linda picks some lemons. Nell's watching. Linda goes upstairs, gives the lemons to the fox. It eats them.
Yeah.
She closes the door and it eats them. Linda does not like the spying of her brothers because the brothers are spying on her. And she's very upset at them. And they are very interested in what's happening here
Yes, they are.
for obvious reasons. What's she doing with these lemons in the middle of the night?
That's a good question.
The fox is basically alive now,
Yeah, but it can't see.
but it can't see because it still has the button eyes that have been sewn onto it.
Yeah,
And
that's creepy.
Linda says, I'll get your eyes for you. I will get them.
Mm.
And she's talking to something in there. Bronson and Pete standing outside the door. It's closed.
Yeah.
And they think that she has said, I'll get your pies for you.
No, that's what Bronson thought because, you know,
Yes.
Bronson
Isn't that what I said?
you said they thought. Like,
Well,
Pete thought something else.
About flies.
About
Something
flies,
about flies.
yeah.
Linda opens the door and Bronson says, who are you giving these pies to?
And why aren't
are the
they
pies?
me?
Where are the pies?
Yeah.
Give me the pies. Tony shows up. He says, I don't care about these pies. Go to bed. I've got my own issues. It's nighttime. I'm very lonely, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Adult activities
that's exactly what
maybe being performed.
Maybe.
I
guess
can't
so.
do that with you guys making racket down here.
Well, there you go. I didn't really read into that. I read it as I want to go to sleep and cry into my pillow, and I can't cry into my pillow.
Come
when
on,
you guys
come
are
on.
awake.
You're better than this.
What?
Read
What it is.
in.
I did.
Linda's sleeping.
Yes.
The Gribbles are here. It's the morning. They're mulching everything.
Oh, no.
Chainsaws are in use.
What happened to the
What's going to
lemon tree?
happen? The lemon tree. Quick. Linda wakes up. She comes flying down the stairs. She goes outside just in time to see the lemons go into the mulching machine. She's crying. He just came to life.
Yep.
He just came to life and now he'll never see. Obviously everyone here thinks that she's a crazy person.
Everyone thinks she's having a manic episode.
What is she talking about?
Yeah, what is she
Who's
talking about?
come to life?
Then she goes, this just says, the fox inside is buried under the tree.
Yes.
What?
That does not make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. What?
Barely
What
makes
do you
sense,
mean?
even with our knowledge of what's happening in the episode.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, is not the best.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We barely know what's going on.
Yeah.
How are these people supposed to know what she's talking about?
Exactly.
Nell is here on the scene, as always, and she takes Linda away. And Linda says, "Oh, but what's going to happen? The fox he'll never see." And she says, "Just use the lemons from the other tree."
Yeah.
And
Now we learn there's another tree.
And yeah, well, there's another tree apparently, and she says, "Oh, but it won't work because the fox isn't buried under the tree. He can't get his eyes back."
And for starters, let's just point out that the fox being alive is an amazing feat in of itself. You
Yeah,
should at least
you should be happy
of that. It's like
You've got a blind
you
fox.
got a blind fox. That's better than being a dead fox.
Yes.
Generally.
Linda gets the lemons from the other lemon tree
Yeah.
and gives them to the fox,
Yes.
who then gets blue eyes because we go back down into the backyard and Nell takes Linda down here and shows her that underneath this other lemon tree, it's never grown very well because there's a grave here.
It's weird.
She's done it again.
She's killed someone else.
She's
again.
killed somebody.
Yep.
There's bodies everywhere. They're all under the lemon trees.
I wonder how many more lemon trees she has.
If Nell offers you fruit,
Don't take it.
don't take it.
From Nell's private orchard. Alright? She hires workforce to get there, and when they want to get paid, they go into a room, and you can guess what happens to them in that room. And then she gets new workforce.
What's under the cabbage patch?
Yeah, how many dead bodies are under that?
Whoa!
There are so many dead bodies under the cabbage patch.
Think about
Like,
that's concerning.
because it's got to be dead bodies.
Is all around the twist?
Yeah,
Is all of this? You know, we've had this coma theory for a while.
yeah.
Is it just the bodies of people that Nell has killed coming back to haunt her?
Maybe.
This is not a coma at all. This is just the spirits of the dead coming back to get her. What, you know, the scarecrow thing.
Yeah.
Did Nell kill these people? How did she know about it?
How did she know? Yeah.
She's obviously
She knows
she's
lot.
obviously done something to these
Maybe she
people.
killed all those ghosts, and they've come back to try to haunt her.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking.
And that's why they're doing the lighthouse, because, she lives at the lighthouse.
No wonder she felt so guilty about her family dying.
She killed them!
She obviously killed them. She had something to do with their car accident or whatever it was that
She
killed
tripped the
them all.
brakes. She cut the brakes.
How did she kill Tom?
How'd she kill Tom? Who's
Buried
Tom
him
again?
in it. Tom's the brother that
Pushed
built
him off a
the
cliff.
copy machine.
Right? Pushed him off a cliff.
Didn't she bury him in like a pile of seagull poo or something because he's in the spirit of he's in the seagull?
Yeah, I guess
Which one
so.
is Tom?
Tom.
I'm getting it all mixed up.
I have no...
Does Tom actually come?
I don't know.
Dead Ned died on the toilet.
Dead Ned died on the toilet. How did he die on the toilet?
She strangled him.
No, because she poisoned him.
Ah.
And then he died on the toilet because, I don't know, just got poisoned. And
Nell.
That's what would happen.
Nell.
When
Serial
you think about it,
killer.
actually, because if you got poisoned, that's where the first place you would go if you started feeling poisoned from a bad meal is you go to the toilet. 'cause
You know
you're
what he
gonna
got
throw up.
poisoned from?
What?
He ate a lemon. Oh,
Oh, that's what happens. She
Full
cooked him
circle.
up some... Oh, what happens to Bronson then?
Bronson's in trouble.
Yeah, Bronson's in a lot of trouble. He's been in a lot of
Look
lemons.
out,
Yeah.
bro. This is
This
why
actually, this fits into why he goes back in time.
this is why he's built this grudge
Yeah.
against Nell, and so in the future, when he becomes a balding man with a tan ring,
probably has a small
line
amount of
wedding
lemon in there,
ring
right?
Thing. Yes.
So he's
in
like,
his milkshake.
he's probably realised that it's hurting and like it's
Yes.
killing him a little, but
He's
it
dying.
doesn't do that much.
He's slowly
So when he's
dying.
that balding man with the wedding ring tan line,
Yes.
he realises that the cause of all his misery was Nell's lemons. So
He
he
needs
goes back
to
and
go
tries to kill
back in
Nell,
time.
not to just get the ghost food, but also
yeah,
just to kill Nell.
her
so that his
spiritual
future self-
shaman powers.
Yeah.
He needs to kill her in revenge and atonement.
Yep. And then his body is buried under the cabbage patch, and that doesn't matter because all bodies are technically buried under the cabbage patch.
There's so many bodies in the cabbage patch.
Yeah, and it's
which
got-
causes all these crazy things to
Yeah,
happen.
exactly. Ugh. Just wow.
Hopefully that made sense to somebody.
Yeah, it made sense.
It
to
barely
somebody.
made sense to me.
It made perfect sense.
Now
Wow.
we'll just quickly go through the end of the episode and then we'll go through some of the things that we need to talk about. The fox escapes. It's now got blue eyes
Yep.
because obviously took the blue eyes from the father. Even though, where did he get his blue eyes?
I don't know.
Because if they got painted, they weren't real.
Yeah.
According to the teaser, they were painted on. How did he get his blue eyes? Did he eat lemons
Yeah,
from somebody else that was killed?
maybe.
But Nell obviously wouldn't have been alive because he hadn't met her. Maybe Nell
Yeah.
is a time-traveling,
Murderer.
serial-killing demon.
Maybe Nell's
Harvesting
just a
the
demon.
souls.
Maybe that's what Nell does. She harvests the souls.
And
oh,
she
my
traps
goodness.
the ghosts
If she becomes a
in the
senator,
White House.
You know what happens if she becomes a senator? She'll allow, like, agricultural bills to be passed. So
What?
that her lemon trees get planted everywhere.
No.
Thereby turning everyone
No.
into a ghost.
No.
And killing them.
No.
Yes. But, oh my goodness. But Mr. Gribble, he wants to destroy the environment to protect people from fucking, Nell's lemons. Gribble's the hero of the story.
It's all coming together.
It's like a intricate web of lies all revealed.
Okay, so let's just kind of sort this out. Nell is a time-traveling, satanic,
demon.
serial-killing demon.
Yes.
That needs to harvest souls.
Yes.
And she harvests souls and keeps them trapped
Yes.
for her energy-sucking vampire needs.
Yes.
By putting their bodies under
What if she's
some
not related
form
to them?
of
What if she's not a
fruit?
time traveler? What if that's what it is? What if the energy helps her stay younger?
that
Maybe she took
makes
some lemons,
sense.
and that's why she looked a bit younger. This episode she looked a little
So
bit nicer.
these people aren't actually her relatives.
Not at all. She's just killed them, right? She's taken the energy from them. She realizes she can get infinite energy and stronger if she allows an agricultural bills to be passed so that her lemons can get everywhere.
Now, Gribble, being set up as seemingly the bad guy,
Yeah.
is actually working against her.
He's working out of self-interest,
Yeah.
but his self-interest would save people because they wouldn't be able to eat the lemons because you wouldn't be able to grow the trees.
This is becoming a little bit like Carnival. The sun and the moon, the force of light and the force of evil are working against each other. They've been drawn together by fate for this climax of chaotic power and conflict. Oh my goodness. Nell versus Gribble, the final showdown. It's coming. It's coming.
It will come. Although I will point something out that if Nell really wanted to have her lemon trees in every farm, wouldn't she just, become wouldn't she be an MP?
That's the election.
Yeah.
The election is the final conflict.
Yeah, it will be.
Oh my god, I'm so hyped.
Oh man, it's on, man. It's on.
What do we call this? What do we call this clash of titans?
I don't know.
That is the election.
We'll call it
Nell versus Gribble Thunderdome 3.
Thunderdome or something.
Beyond the Lighthouse.
Armageddon, something like that. Is that Gribblegeddon? Nellageddon?
Election Road.
Oops, Election Gate.
Election.
I don't know. Some gate related.
Don't bring it Gate. Gate is the most overused.
Nellgate.
Nellgate.
Gribblegate.
No.
Lemon Gate.
Election Dome.
Election Dome. Yep.
It's coming.
Steel cage match.
Steel.
That's how we should elect our senators. Stuff the voting. They should fight each other in a UFC steel cage fight.
Is that what's going to happen for Nell vs. Gribble?
I would hope so.
Maybe.
She'll bring out her demonic powers, though.
So, and we wrap it all up with the realization that Grandad's gifts are his eyes. His blue eyes to the fox. Yep. That's where we get the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of things we need to talk about.
Yep.
We've got a couple more pontifications. Nell's surname. Now, this is interesting because this ties in with what we were just talking about. Now, Regan. I was about to call you Regan again. Regan. He's noted that on the gravestone that Nell shows us, we only see part of his name, but it says Albert Stubb, assuming it's Albert Stubbs or something.
Yeah.
But Nell's first name, at least according to season 1, episode 1.
Her surname.
What did I say?
You said Nell's first name.
Okay, whatever. Her last name is supposed to be Rickards, according to Skeleton on the Dummy.
Yeah.
But later on in season 2, according to Regan, in episode 10, Yuckles, we see on a political poster, her name is Nell Sands.
Yeah.
Okay? Which does not match Stubbs. So Regan has said there's two possibilities. The first one is the Grandad is Nell's maternal grandfather on the mother's side. The second one is that Stubb could be the Grandad's middle name or nickname, but there is a line underneath Stubb on the headstone which suggests that his full name is above that line.
Yeah.
So, maybe there's a third option, and that Nell is actually the satanic demon soul-harvesting vampire beast.
Yeah.
And her name is just changing like the sands.
Yeah, could be.
She's just changing her name
or
to
it's
suit
like an acronym for something. I don't know. Satanic angel nefarious deeds. There you go.
Excellent.
Or people are just not are too thick, and they think, Stubb. Oh, it makes sense. When in reality, no. This is just the dead body she buried. This is a dead body, and she calls it her grandfather.
Yes.
She just, she could be making these whole things up, too, right?
She clearly is, if this satanic thing is true.
Yeah.
She clearly has made up all these stories.
But I'm going to go and say, without mentioning satanic thing, I will say it's probably Grandad, his maternal grandfather.
Okay.
Yes, that's my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that Regan mentioned that we've talked about in the past as well, Nell's been underutilized.
Yeah.
Now, Regan says this is the first time that she's made an actual decent contribution to the structure of the story.
Yeah.
Because it was her grandfather. We've mentioned in season 2, she hasn't done her usual role, which was give us exposition, give us some of the rules, and season 2 suffered a lot because of that. We don't know the rules of these paranormal events.
Yeah.
Okay? Why? Is this because that her true nature is slowly being revealed and she doesn't want to help the twists who are caught up in this epic struggle between good and evil?
Maybe that's what it is.
She wants to keep them in the dark. Power is information, especially in this age of the near apocalypse.
Maybe she's gotten too close to the twists.
Where the bringer of light, the bringer of darkness will collide in this epic election that will decide the fate of Port Noranda and therefore the rest of the world.
Exactly.
Anything-
Oh my goodness. Nell.
Yes.
Yeah. Swap out a letter and you get
Ew.
hell.
What?
Yeah.
You get hell?
Yeah. What? That's a conspiracy of some form.
Oh my
Hang on.
goodness.
HIJKLMN. That's 6. You divide that by 2.
What?
Right? As in the 2 horns of Satan. You get 3. 3 like the Holy Trinity. Boom. Wow.
3 plus 1
Yeah.
is 7.
It is.
7 is an evil number because 6 plus 6 is 12, which
Yeah.
is the holy number, but that's half that plus 1,
Okay.
which is times by 2, 14, take 1, 13.
Yeah.
Very unlucky.
I don't know where the fuck you're coming up with this. You're just making shit up now.
I'm doing holy mathematics, Anthony.
You're doing holy mathematics. You'd be.
I listen to Tool.
You're
I understand evil numbers.
All right, you understand evil numbers.
I have read about Kabbalah once on the internet.
Therefore, you are a practitioner of it.
I'm very aware of the crazy things.
And I think the other thing we want to talk about as well.
Yes.
I thought was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yes. He found out that Matron Gribble. We didn't try to figure out her first name.
Yep.
Yeah, so he watched the first episode, Skeleton on a Dunny again, and around about 4:10 onwards, he noticed that Harold addresses her as Matron Cecilia Gribble. And we know Matron is a official title.
Yes.
So her first name is probably Cecilia.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But she's credited as, I believe, Matron Gribble.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It could just be her title.
But yeah, because someone could be referred to as Mr. Gribble. I know he's called something else, but he could be called Mr. Gribble.
Yeah. A lot of interesting things in this episode.
Yeah.
Anything else that you wanted to bring up?
No, nothing else in this episode. It's pretty full
What would you rate it?
I'd rate it maybe 7.
Yeah. Out of 10 bowls of spaghetti?
Yeah, 7 bowls of spaghetti out of 10, I'd say.
Anything else that you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I'd like to add some comments from...
I meant sides.
Oh,
You
sides.
can't just have spaghetti by itself.
Spaghetti by itself.
What kind of,
Ugh. Yeah, I can.
what kind of heathen are you?
I'm gonna eat spaghetti by itself. 7 bowls of spaghetti, perfectly cooked, al dente.
Al dente.
Al dente, a little chop.
What?
I don't know, I like to make up French, Italian words. A little monte, a squeezy.
This is getting weird.
Yep.
I would give the episode 6 bowls of spaghetti out of 10 with some potato.
Potato noshi.
I went to... No, not gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
No, what do you call it? Nochi.
Noshi. Did it all for the gnocchi.
Did it for the gnocchi. Excellent pop culture reference. No, potato went to an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And we ordered potato.
Yeah.
Because we thought it would be chips. Turned out that it was sliced potato, basically just Lay's chips that had been heated up.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that happened to me the other day. I went to the state library. I ordered some sort of burger. Right?
Okay.
I was meeting someone from your
Did you
university.
ask for chips?
That had chips. It came with chips and it came with coleslaw. I'm like, oh, cool. And what do I get? It was a cold day. Bloody potato chips. What is?
Did they just open the packet? And pour them
it was
on
like it was
plate?
on there, and I'm like, what is wrong with cafe owners? It's this trendy thing to put potato chips instead of chips. Like, I don't.
Crisps.
I have never met a person in their life who has ever said, no, I would rather have cold regular chips than hot chips. Everybody loves hot chips. It is a proven fact.
Love it, especially with chicken
You can
salt.
never go wrong with hot chips. Nothing wrong with that. So please, if you're a cafe owner, stop doing the Lay's chips. Unless it's in the middle of summer and you're trying to be cool. Come on, man. Hot chips is where it's at.
Hot chips are indeed where they're at.
Yeah.
Which brings us to social media, where it is also
where it's at. Yep. So, actually, first off, subscribe to us on YouTube, on iTunes. All right.
Yes, Tales from the Twists.
Yep.
Twitter, TFT Twists.
Yep.
WordPress, Tales from the Twists.
Twist,
Something. You'll find
whatever.
it.
You'll
Google
find it.
us.
And go to our Facebook, Tales from the Twist. You find us there. That's really where our main hub is, as well as YouTube. Yes. Joseph?
Last week we put in a call for people to give us more feedback, like Regan Pontillo did this last week.
Yep.
If you want to do that, you still can.
Absolutely.
Just contact us through Facebook. Send us some of your feedback, fan theories, things that you noticed in the episode, anything like that, and we'll put it in the episode.
It's
We'll put it in the podcast.
Really cool. It's really cool. There's so much cool
out.
stuff. Yeah. And I'm just going to read out some of the comments that we got from the people. One guy called Johnny Duncan, he said, "We don't want podcasts, we want the show back."
Thank you for your input, Johnny
Johnson.
Duncan.
That's okay. Send us $1 million and we'll get it running.
And he replied to your comment saying that you just need a few $1 million to make the show. He said, "Good. The show was my childhood."
Well, it was our childhood as well. And, that's a tough one. BD Sneaky Sneaks Gannon.
Where do people get these names?
I don't know. Like, we're born with them, I imagine. Which is weird. This was my favourite episode.
Thank
you.
you.
Rock on, man. Rock on. That was related to Sloppy Jalopy.
It bidet, as in the thing that you wash your...
I'm going to say BD, because I don't think it's bidet. Who would name their child bidet?
Somebody that
Someone
loves
might. I don't
bidet.
know. There might be bidets. So
you know, I've done some work in some high schools, and some people have some interesting names.
And lastly, we got Ryan Tolley going Up the Pong.
Up the
the
Pong.
most recent episode uploaded. Well,
Up the Pong to you two,
Up the
Ryan.
Pong to you, man. What up, homie? There's something, I don't know, yeah, Up the Pong.
What did you have for lunch today?
What did I have for lunch today? A pie. I'm gonna have a pie.
Did you already have lunch?
I'm gonna have a pie.
Oh, you're gonna have a pie.
Probably.
I don't know what I'm gonna have.
Maybe
probably a pie too.
Yeah, from a local bakery or something like
yes,
that.
support your local bakeries.
Support them.
They're good for you, which is good for me, which is good for all of us.
Too right.
Is that all we have to talk about today?
That's all we got to talk about today.
That's
all we got. It's all we got, man.
Excellent. What did you say?
I said my name.
My name?
No, name, as in my Vietnam.
What were you gonna say?
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say the N-word, but then I realised I'm not supposed to say the N-word.
What?
What?
You racist.
You asked me what I was gonna say, and I was gonna be like, well...
You racist.
Yeah?
My name's been Joe Lewis, and will continue to be after I finish podcasting. Your name is?
Anthony Bull.
And will it continue as well?
Who knows?
Maybe, who knows? We're very unpredictable.
Who knows?
This has been Tales from the Twists. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great week. Stay twisty.